everybody, this is Mr. Lu. I just landed in Europe, so taking advantage of a car ride from the airport right now. So I was in the plane right now and I hear a few gossips of fellow passengers talking about how people can be ruined financially and things like that. So I spent some time thinking about this, and I think it's quite important for all of us to know. So most of the time we try to learn how to make money, how to become rich, different paths that make you rich and things like that. And I've described so many paths that can help you to become rich, and there are other paths that I don't describe to, but they also can make you rich. But we rarely like to talk about things that can cause you to become poor, right? And to be more precise, financial devastation, right? Really jibabu, right? Go kaput. So I thought about it. I write the four most serious one I can think of, and especially the last point that I'm going to drive at is going to cover a lot of people, right? You may not find that this is applicable. Every single point is applicable to you, but trust me, one of them will be applicable to you. Okay, so the first point I want to drive at is that one of the things that can cause you to be financially devastated is not knowing how to manage risk. Not knowing how to manage risk. A lot of us invest our life savings into something that we don't know how to manage the risk of. Like what Mr. Ng Song said, basically, if you're not prepared to lose it all, don't invest, right? Don't invest. So I think it's a important guideline, right? In property, there's a lot of leverage. You borrow a lot of money, and increasingly, I see more and more people getting involved in condominium that don't make money, because the price is now so high. But everybody is now still believing that I won't lose money in property, right? Well, you can. Trust me, you can. And the risk when the property explodes, or actually when you lose money in property, is big numbers, huge big numbers. Okay, not small numbers. It's because of the power of leverage, right? So when you make money in property, you generally make more because of leverage, and when you lose money, generally it's also because you lose more is because of leverage. For example, stocks and shares, if you leverage, it's also very dangerous. Already not leveraging is dangerous, but when you leverage, it's even more dangerous. Shorting of shares is dangerous, right? Shorting. A lot of people like to short. Short selling means you sell without owning a share, right? Let's say you sell something that is at $1 right now, you short it. If the thing goes down to 1 cent, you basically make 99 cents. You make 99 cents. So that's how you make the full $1. But if the price were to go up, let's say from $1 go to $2, $3, $4, $5, then your downside is unlimited. So shorting has this unique, peculiar trait that the downside is unlimited and the upside is limited. So I will never do shorting. Okay, somebody say, oh, but I can cover myself with puts and all this kind of thing. That's not for the average investors. Okay. The other one is for example, right, in 2022 I invested mostly my CPF and SRS and so on. I invested almost $1 million inside. And some people say, Mr. Lu, you're so good in stock market. Why don't you just sell a house, sell a life, sell a children, sell a dog, sell a cat, and just dump everything in stock market when it crash, right? That's not proper risk management. Can I be wrong? I can be wrong, right? I can be wrong, right? Could there be new things happen that cause the stock market to crash all the way, right? It can be, right? So we are never 100%. So therefore, risk management is extremely important. Okay. Someone said that the best solution for all this is about diversification. I totally agree. So you diversification, right? Just diversify across many asset class, diversify across many geographies and businesses whatsoever. I think diversification is very important. I've ever people who told me, but Warren Buffett says that diversification is for idiots. Oh, that's true. If you are Warren Buffett, you can say that. If you are not, then you better, very humble yourself and diversify. The second thing, I've done videos on it. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Is scams. Nowadays, scams when it happen can devastate a person financially. Do not take it lightly that scam won't happen to you. Assume that scam will happen to you. Do all the measures to protect yourselves, right? Usually they don't cost money and don't make you lose sleep. But not doing it is just simply because you're lazy or you think it would happen to you. But when it happened to you, okay, and scams are now more sophisticated and they can really devastate you. I would take those positions, and I've encouraged you before. You know, if it's your 棺材本, right? If it's your hard-earned money that you cannot afford to lose, you put it in the fixed D, put it in T-bills, put in CPF, put in places where you know there is no internet account and things like that, right? Just to be safe. Crisis is the next one. Point number 3, crisis. Health crisis can blow you financially one big hole. You know, that's where you know cancer, heart attack, you know, sophisticated illnesses and things like that. You're not afraid of death. You're afraid of near death, difficult to die, and yet difficult to live. A lot of people say in Singapore you can afford to fall sick, but you cannot afford to die. So you can afford to die, you cannot afford to fall sick. I think there's some truth in it. So hospitalization plan is important. Hospitalization plan is important. Term insurance is important as well. So think about it. Family accidents are also important. You know, make sure you don't get yourself into an accident crisis as well. The last point I want to drive at is a funny point. Okay, maybe it's not so funny yet. And increasingly, more and more people get into this financial crisis. You know, affairs, right? Right? A lot of people get affairs, and at the end of it, they get financially devastated. So very important for us to take note of is that when people get into affairs, they spend a lot of money to please their lovers and things like that. They buy gifts, buy Hermes bag, buy Chanel bag, buy Rolex watches and all this to make the other party happy. Then you have to pay extra phone services to cover up your communication, hotels and things like that. All these are financial killers, and when people are involved in this thing, they are usually emotionally charged and they make stupid financial decisions. But the real thing that blows people out financially is divorce. Divorce is really costly, Not just divorce lawyers. You have to pay maintenance, pay alimony. You have to, you have to just take care of, in that sense, 2 houses now instead of 1. There's no more economies of scale between a husband and wife. And on top of that, those people who remarry now got a new family to take care of. You can take care of 2 families and things like that. Really complicated, and unfortunately, the divorce rate in Singapore is getting higher and higher and higher, right? So I would just say this, that in the light of what has happened in our parliament, please give yourself no chance to fall in this area. It's totally within your control. Just keep away from the opposite gender. Nothing will happen, right? So protect yourself, protect your marriage, protect your children, right? The most important, right? Make your children proud of you. So just make sure that you don't get yourself financially devastated by something like that, right? So I guess that this kind of sums up the 4 things that can get yourself financially devastated. So number 1, just to recall, number 1, not learning how to manage your risk. Number 2, not taking scam risk seriously. Number 3, not getting yourself properly insured from a medical and health crisis. Number 4 is keeping yourself protected from affairs, right? So this 4 things can devastate you completely. So make sure you protect yourself from all this. Okay? If you agree with this, give a like, send it around, let people know, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Thank you and goodbye.